Hello there, EDISON players, and welcome back to Gadget Case Study, a series in which I examine my ranked Gadget gameplay matches against a particular deck. And today we're going to be looking at a bit of a civil war, our matches against pure Machina or Machina Control, Hamster Raikou Chaos Machina. If you have any suggestions for decks for next episodes, just let me know and I'll see whether I harvest enough replays for that. Also, in a few weeks, we will be having another ELO tournament in a beautiful city of Antwerp. So if you are in the area, Facebook event is in the description below. So I'm hoping to see many of you guys there. First match. This was in the 400s rating. So let's see. And I'm losing the die roll as I very often do. I should keep track of my die rolls, actually. Would be interesting to see. Anyway, the opponent opens a Hamster Raikou Chaos. I luckily open Gear Frame and I'm gonna attack into that hamster. Now I do have Horn of Heaven, but yeah, I'm not going to set that into a known Raikou. They accidentally tried to summon twice. No biggie. And here they do have the Raikou. I'm gonna commit my second Gear Frame to grab Fortress. And I'm gonna bring that out, gonna attack over the hamster. And then slowly start taking care of these Raikous. So I attack into the unknown set. And yeah, that was another Raikou. So very annoying. I am going to set my Horn of Heaven, and I'm planning to negate, the Raikou flip summon. Because if I didn't do that, then he would be able to destroy one of my monsters, or the Horn of Heaven itself, and tribute it for Chaos as well. So, yeah. Opponent top decks Cyber Dragon and is going to Contact Fuse. So that is a 1 on the Chimeratech meter for this episode. And that is going to be 2000 damage. My turn, and I draw Royal Passion. Gonna start things off with Scrap Recycler. Gonna put back 2 Gear Frames. Very nice way you can do that. And I have the, the double Solidarity here. I am gonna play around the potential MST Battle Trap. And I'm just gonna attack for a lot of damage. The opponent draws a hamster again. I am gonna summon the Gadget, and that's gonna be a big green Gadget. Yeah, attack the hamster, but the opponent has Mirror Force. So things are gonna be looking pretty bad for me, but I do have the Royal Oppression to negate the hamster. So I do stay in the duel. Without this oppression, things would have looked pretty bleak. I'm just gonna keep summoning massive gadgets. And the opponent is on a 2-turn clock. So hopefully I can close this out. The opponent basically admitting defeat here. I'm just gonna keep paying, but I do bottomless their fortress. Probably should have just oppressioned that. But opponent does draw, does shoot, and prison. I am going to commit a Gadget. Mirror Force is already gone, so only Torrential would have really hurt here. And do I connect for game? I don't yet. So the opponent is gonna compulse a Gadget and then does shoot one of my Gadgets away. Very funny. And then I do run into the prison, so the opponent has 1 turn to draw something good. And it's another compulse. So, Yellow Gadget getting the effect. The opponent now really has one more turn to try to get something going. They do draw Gear Frame. But it's not gonna help them there. Second game, I do having my oppressions still. And this is where it would be delicious to top deck a Cyber Dragon, right? I'm not drawing it, unfortunately. I'm just gonna summon my Gadget into the back row, almost hoping to get hit by pulling the rug, but yeah. The opponent draws Gorse, and Gorse is a bit of an issue for this deck. Can be a bit of an issue if you don't have any outs to it. And right now I have very few outs to a potential Gorse coming down. Luckily my opponent has this Dimensional Prison, and they don't want to use it on any of these monsters. I understand that, but it does kill their Gorse. So now they are forced to use the prison on the gear frame. I have a Gadget. The opponent now uses Dust Tornado, and they will commit Fortress, but I have the Bottomless Trapple, excellent card, and here I have the opportunity to play around Gorse, and I am going to do that. So that is game, set, match. Next up, this was a bit later in the season. I was at 566 rating at that point. And let's look at the hands. My opponent is going to pro set Storm, and I am just going to set Solemn Judgment. Would have been funny if I had also pro set Storm there, but no. Here my opponent uses their Storm before setting another back row, and yeah, it's Dimensional Prison. I am going to set my Compulse, and yeah, here I'm so hoping to draw like a good monster to really get things going, but they're just gonna Trap Dust my Fortress. Very unfortunate, and they draw into the gear frame. So it is gonna be tough for me to get back from this. And the end phase, they discard Fortress, so not wanting to run it into the prison or a bottomless or anything, and I have to waste my smashing round on this gear frame. And man, they prison my Gadget, so my Solidarity still isn't live. Can I just draw like a Fortress of my own? No, I cannot. So draw red, search yellow. I'm gonna smashing round the Fortress, but they have Book of Moon to protect. He gets flip summoned, and I am gonna take the damage. Because now, triple Solidarity. The frustrating thing is I also have my Heavy Storm, so I'm just gonna commit 2 Solidarities, and I keep 1 in the back for later. And yeah, maybe I should have just Heavy Stormed, chain Compulse on the set or something like that. But here they have a Raikou and take out my 3rd Solidarity. Very frustrating. Looks like I'm playing this one out completely wrong, right? Play is back to the opponent. They're gonna Book of Moon my Gadgets, and that appears to be game. Yeah. So next game in the match, and I do open like no traps. As you see, I sided in Card Trooper as a way to combat the hamster. But look here, opponents having strong back row. And I don't just wanna... Yeah, but I am going to Heavy Storm just 1. Feels kind of bad, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do. I bring out my Fortress. That makes... yeah, Solidarity was already live. But this does allow me to get a lot of damage in. My opponent, wow. They draw a 2nd Fortress, and they already had the Force, so they're gonna be doing quite a bit of damage here. They're gonna wreck my Solidarity. No, my Fortress first. And then attack over my Gadgets. So I am going to smashing round the Fortress. Card Trooper is at 12, so I think I should mill just 2, right? For 2, yeah. Lose out on my Mirror Force and Gear Frame, unfortunate. So I do get over the hamster, but he has a Raikou. That's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. I summon a Gadget, get hit with pulling the rug. But hopefully my card trooper will stabilize me a bit, keep my card advantage going. I'm not gonna mill, because yeah, it didn't make a difference. It would still be on a 2-turn clock. Unfortunately, I am gonna be running into a prison. Yeah, this pulling the rug. Excellent card in this situation. I'm gonna try to attack for game, but run into the deep prison. And now, yeah, I'm gonna have to start top decking. Luckily, the opponent also has nothing, so it goes back and forth for a bit. I can bring out my fortress, but it gets hit with the bottomless. And their fortress is gonna run into my prison, but they have Book of Moon to protect. Book of Moon may be a tech that I should look into, perhaps. Anyway, this red gadget is gonna be nice and big, able to run over the fortress. And I put down the second Solidarity as a bit of an intimidation move. But they have Heavy Storm, man. Feels bad. So I'm gonna put back their fortress and my own Scrap Recycler. And then chain Compulse on their fortress. So forcing them to spend an extra card. It's not game yet, but yeah, the situation is so good for them. I need to like top deck Cyber Dragon, and I don't. So I'm just gonna pass here, and they have Pot of Avarice, so they're really gonna get the advantage in their favor. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with 2 gadgets, and they have another pulling the rug. Yeah, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes. I'm not committing any gadgets. Maybe I don't have any left in the deck. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should still have a red left in the deck. Unless that's banished. No, there should be a red one in the deck. Unless I sided one out. So opponent is gonna attack. And I'm gonna finally search for the reds, but they have pulling the rug. I'm gonna set bottomless. My opponent, no reason to flip the Raikou unless they really want to play around like Mirror Force or yeah, a prison, but one of each was already gone. So fair play to them, and I lose this one. Next up, this was a bit later in the season, 608 rating for me, and a bit of a miserable hand. I'm gonna set the Trap Dust Shoot, expecting this to be Raikou, so I'm gonna hold the Dust Shoot for a bit. And here, triple prison, yeah. So Trap Dust Shoot now gets chains, and yeah, we do see that we are up against like a bit of a mirror match. Opponent commits. The hamster is gonna attack. No, they're gonna summon the Plague, go for Goyo Guardian. That is gonna be food for my smashing round, if I'm not mistaken. And I finally have the gadgets. Okay, yes. The train gets going. I'm gonna attack into the face down. If that's a Raikou, I want it to... yeah, I know it's a Raikou, so I want it to eat my gadgets. After that, I can set my back row safely after smashing Grammy, of course, because 28 is a lot of damage. So just setting triple D prison and my Solemn Judgment, was it? Yeah, so insulated against Heavy Storm. Raikou attacks in. Always funny to see. And I am gonna grab my Fortress. Solidarity makes my gear frame massive. 26 is nothing to scoff at. The opponent is gonna commit their Fortress and is gonna steal my gear frame, and that's extra devastating because they can just equip it in main phase 2. Yeah, they're not gonna attack, they're being very disciplined. So I grab yellow gadgets, and I am going to commit the Fortress, and I'll try to attack to get the gear frame off, and then just passing turn. The opponent has Smashing Grounds, that's bad news for me. They have Kais for my gadgets, and then they can bring out Fortress as well. I am going to prison the Kais, hoping to you know, tell my opponents, hey, I have no second prison, and I'm just trying to stay alive. But the opponent doesn't take the bait. You know, if I only had one prison, why would I banish the Caius? So maybe I should have just let the Caius attack go through. I'm setting no new back row just in case I draw like a spell I want to activate. But here, yellow gadget, searching green gadget. And I bring out my own fortress. I think Torrential... No, Torrential is not yet gone. No back row is gone yet. Here I do have Torrential. I'm going to solve this. And that does seal the deal. So, yeah. Game 1 goes to me here. Next game in the match, I do side deck the Nobleman of Crossout. And it's gonna put in work right after I summon this gadget. Yeah, I'm a goat player, so I always summon before knocking, just to play around potential torrential tributes. And the opponent brings out the big guy, and it runs over my gadgets. I am going to summon yellow gadgets, and I am the master of the Machina Fortress, so I'm gonna take control of that with creature swap and run over the yellow gadget. So yeah. The opponent has their own Machina Fortress and is going to run that directly into this dimensional prison. So very, very sweet. The opponent doesn't want to waste their Cyber Dragon on this yet. So no more Raikos. I banished all of them with knock. Nice, nice, nice. And here the opponent will have the opportunity to Cyber Dragon. They just sniped my Horn of Heaven. So that is going to be a fat, juicy Fortress Dragon, the second one of the video. I'm going to be taking a lot of damage. Here is Scrap Recycler, I'm going to ditch Fortress, draw a card. And I'm going to bring out my Fortress, and I have a Smashing Round. This is more than enough to attack for game, playing around Gorse. Attacking with a Fortress first, so this match goes to me. Final match of the video. This was a fairly recent one. I was at 850 rating, so yeah. Currently I'm sitting at a bit over 900, but it gets really tough because every time you lose so much rating, and every time you win, you're just gaining like 10, 12, 13 ratings, something like that. Let's see what the opponent is holding, and we see that they are on the Jinzo build. They're gonna MST, my Solemn Judgment, and then Heavy Storm. Yeah, amazing, amazing. And they just have the better opening than me because they can commit Fortress plus Gear Frame. So they're gonna clear my gadgets, attach the Gear Frame, and yeah, I'm just a bit of a sitting duck here, really. I'm gonna thin my deck and place down Torrential Tributes. The Gear Frame is gonna unequip. This is an opportunity to Torrential, but I'm not gonna be doing that. Okay, fair enough. Here's another red gadget. This one is dead, I think. Yeah, both of my yellow gadgets are already gone, so I'm just gonna attack over the Gear Frame and leave it at that, which does allow my opponent to crash and then snipe my Torrential Tributes. Here, luckily, I draw a Scrap Recycler, so I'm gonna send a Fortress, put back the yellow gadget and a red, and draw a Gear Frame of my own. So excellent draw, excellent draw. The opponent does have Gorse, but it's not the end of the world here, although I do see a Bottomless and a Deep Prison. So can I draw Heavy Storm? That would be cool. No? Okay. Gear Frame, I'm gonna search the Force. I'm gonna try to bring that out. Run into Bottomless. Painful. But I have two more gadgets. So I am going to bring out Fortress. And I just run it straight into Dimensional Prison. So yeah, tough times. The opponent can capitalize on this super hard. So what can I draw here? I think I need Cyber Dragon. But I'm not drawing it. I draw Gear Frame, but the force is already gone, so I have to search for a second fortress, commit that, try to crash. And that one is working, so I can take out their cores, they take out my Gear Frame. And that does make my opponent's pot of avarice life, so they will be up to 4 cards to my 0. And they're gonna start hitting in with DD Crow. So down to 800 life points. They're probably doing that to play around brain control. Yeah, DD Crow getting in, 7 more attacks. Luckily I draw yellow gadgets, so yellow gadgets can try to deal with DD Crow. Please no Icarus, I say in the chat. That would be something. They're gonna be forced to mirror force my gadgets. And yeah, he just keeps getting in, that DD Crow. I tried to run over it with green gadgets, but Compulse is there to save the day. DD Crow, 5 more, he's halfway there, but my opponent is gonna tribute set. Saying limiter is too scary. I agree. Normal summon green, and that is gonna attack into fortress. Yeah. And here we see main phase 2. I am gonna go for the big 3000 attack fortress dragon, the third one of the video, and finally one under my control. Opponent is gonna search fortress, bring it out. That is all good, and is gonna protect. Okay. Limiter is indeed a scary card, but I am going for it. So my fortress attacking his fortress, he's just gonna take some damage. And he's gonna DD Crow my third fortress. So sad times. It's all on the gadgets and this one Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon to take it, but that was his 5th monster engrave, I believe. And this way he can leave his fortress. So now he's gonna draw 2. Drawing a force, so lucky him. I am gonna try to push, so fortress attacking over the hamster. And in main phase 2, instead of attacking the Raikou, I am gonna protect my Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Opponent is gonna Raikou snipe the Dimensional Prison. Here they tribute summon for Cyber Dragon. They're gonna bring out Machina Fortress, which I bottomless, so there goes that plan. They have Call of the Haunted to bring back another fortress. And yeah, I simply have the Mirror Force here, so no fancy tricks. And I do have the gadgets, and that is more than enough to attack for game. So this first game, very long game. How long was this? Yeah, only 20 minutes, but yeah, it felt like so many things were happening there. Anyway, my opponent starting off with a set Raikou, and Card Trooper just loves eating those, hoping to not run into Dimensional Prison. And I'm gonna draw that extra card. The Heavy Storm, wow, this is gonna be coming in very clutch. And for some reason I'm holding... no, the Dust Shoot was milled. Okay. Opponent has the Gear Frame, and he already has 2 fortresses and the Force in hand. So he could have done like a massive play, but I have the back row, so I'm just gonna commit a Gadget. And my opponent has Jinzo. Ooh, that's a big one. So he's gonna bring out his full arsenal, and I live this, but yeah, it's not looking good for me. I'm down to 200 life points. 2 attacks from DD Crow could do me in right here and now. I do have a way to get rid of the Jinzo, and that makes my back row live again. So I'm just gonna set everything. They have Heavy Storm. Okay. That that is GG for them. Next game, final game of the video, so I'm already gonna go ahead and thank you guys for tuning into this long form content. I have Heavy Storm and Solidarity, so I'm just gonna set the one bottomless. It gets sniped, and the opponent yeah, searching the fortress, not committing it yet, because they fear the Cyber Dragon clapback. Just gonna make the gear frames kiss. And I sided in Transmigration Prophecy because not specifically to counter the Machina part, but all of these pot of avarices. I am gonna commit my gadgets, and I know that that's a Raikou or a Hamster, but I'm still gonna go in. And they target my gadgets, luckily enough for me. They have Dust Tornado. I am going to be chaining that. Yeah, they only had 4 targets, but yeah, still. My gear frame and his dusts. And my opponent now just sets the Torrential and passes. This is a lot of damage. It's game actually. Because Green Gadget is going to be 22. The fortresses are going to be 33 each. So bar a course or a Battle Fader or something like that, this game should be mine. Yeah, I'm not going to be playing the long game here. I am just going to try to attack for game, and that is going to work. Man, imagine if he had the course. That would have been a GG for him. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. This is Ryan Atlas. Bye.